Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Not Church, where we encourage people to think. I want to ask you to forgive me for my do-rag I have on this morning. I'm getting ready to go and get my workout in Planet Fitness, and they're also very strict about certain things, to wear your mask and all that. So I promise I'm not trying to make a fashion statement. I'm just ready to go ahead and hit it. I was thinking this morning as I was riding up the road, what can I share with the people this morning? And as I began to meditate on that, God gave me this: train to ignore truth. Train to ignore truth. And I want to start out by saying, do you guys, some of you that are around my age, I'm 47 years old. So some of you that are around my age remember the peak of the evangelical move back in the 1990s and in the 2000s, and the political effect that the evangelicals had, particularly with the Republican Party. Now, this is not a conversation about politics, but I want to make a bigger point here. I just, some of us that are around my age probably can remember that peak. And the Republicans were very, they were conservative, and they believed in conservative values and morals. And it appeared that they had won the hearts of the Christian right. And so this was well known and understood. We thought that based on that, at least I did, and I don't want to speak for everybody else, but for me, I thought that, we were on an upward trajectory at that time. And I remember actually voting for President Bush because his morals were in line with what I believed as a Christian. And because of that, I thrust my support behind him. Fast forward after Bush 2, President Obama won the nomination, and I actually voted for Obama, not because he was African American, but because I just believed that he was the best man for the job at the time. And President Barack Obama unequivocally stated to the American people that he was a follower of Jesus Christ, and I believed him. So for that reason, I thrust my support behind President Barack Obama. But right after Obama, or during his term, I noticed that there was a lot of pushback with just about everything he did from the same conservative right, who I thought was so vehemently Christian. They pushed back against him on everything. It was almost like they wanted to handcuff him and put their foot on his neck. And it bothered me that the Republicans, both the Senate and the House Republicans, fought him on everything in his agenda. And surely I knew that everything Obama believed in and pushed and supported was not the wrong thing to do, particularly when it came to benefiting those of lower tax brackets, ensuring that they were economically okay, financially okay. Love thy neighbors as thyself. Better to give than to receive. Give to the least of these. These are things that really encouraged me when it came to supporting President Barack Obama. But it seemed to me at the time that the Republican Party didn't believe the same. And so as time progressed, we find out that, how people really felt. Initially, I was a little confused, because I knew, and I know a lot of African American people knew, that President or ex-President Trump was not the man for the job. He was not a, and I don't want to judge anybody or put anybody down, but we know that President Trump was not the kind of example that President Barack Obama was, or George Bush 2 was, George Bush 1 was. We all knew that based on his history, his record. However, a lot of my white evangelical brethren continue to support him, which led me to believe that there are some things that they're gonna believe no matter what. For example, bigotry and racism. We knew that Trump was a bigot based on his past. We knew that his father was a bigot based on his past, based on the way he treated people that did not look like him. We knew that, and when those, I'm just going to say it, racist people began to follow Trump, you saw it unfolding slowly. He gained more and more support by the same far-right conservatives that were claiming to be evangelicals back in the 90s and in the 2000s. This made me wonder, like, are they trained to ignore the truth? Or do they just not care, and these are inherent things deep down within them that they refuse or are too stubborn to let go? And I would veer to the former. I think that these people are just trained to ignore truth. And we all are to a certain point. I remember when I first started coming into more understanding of what I said I believed, it brought tears to my eyes. I cried. Many days I cried because I thought I was right. My theology was being turned upside down right before my face. And here I was faced with, do I want to continue in the way that I was going? Or do I just want to be honest with myself? I could get so much deeper into this in terms of truths that are looking at us straight in our face, but we refuse to accept truth. We rather ignore the truth and believe lies because we're trained. In our minds, we're trained, and our thoughts were trained, and our emotions are even trained to ignore the truth. We have a lot of pithy sayings. God can do anything but fail. Well, if God can do anything, that means God can fail. Or God is not a man that he should lie, but we turn around and say that Jesus was all man, but yet all God. These are, you can't keep ignoring these truths that are looking at you straightway. You have to deal with them head on and wrestle with them. For example, like when Jacob wrestled with God. Wrestle with God just simply means that we deal with the tough questions. We deal with the things that seem to be contradictions, and we come to truth in terms of what is God saying to me? Because this is important in, the identification, separate identification and individuality of every person, so that every person, yes, we are one corporate body, but we are individuals in particular, come together to be strong together, right? So I just wanted to share that this morning, and I appreciate you listening. Please remember, like, subscribe, comment, and thank you again for being a part of a family that knows what they believe and why they believe it. Until we meet again. Everybody won't be on top, yeah, whether the roof or the mountaintop. Right.